Last week we held a re-entry simulation down at the Jack. And we're going to be speaking in this body and throughout this building this session about the importance of reducing recidivism in this state in order to help offenders become ex-offenders rather than repeat offenders. And the purpose of that is to increase safety in our communities, to decrease the number of victims. And I will say that that we had a grand time at the Jack, and it was actually quite fun. But I will tell you, as far as the folks that are exiting the correctional system, staying out of the system and not returning to jail, returning to prison, is very difficult. It's not simple. It's not easy to stay out. And we had members in this room and in the other body that participated, and some of them ended up back in jail. I will say, Madam President, I was extremely competitive during the what was somewhat of a game, and I figured out a way to actually stay out of jail. But I worked my tail off to do it, and I was actually running between the stations in order to make it happen. And you learn a few tricks. In fact, when there was a long line where I needed to get my state ID, and there were probably 30 people in it, I knew that if I got at the end of the line, I would end up back in jail because I wouldn't be able to do what I needed to do. And so I went to a member in this room and offered him $10, like Monopoly money, in order to get a cut in line, which he needed the money, so he let me in line. So it was things like that. We found out how challenging it was. And I'm not sure, I want to say there were maybe 7 or 8 legislators that participated. Quite a few offices, staff came, but I'm hoping if you did not attend, if the members in this room did not attend, that they speak with their staff about the experience. Because part of the experience was to understand what offenders, all the requirements they must meet in a week's time, in a month's time. And for us, we were doing that without the added 2 challenges that offenders have. One of those challenges, most of them, is they have an addiction draw that's trying to draw them back. And secondly, they have old friends, peers that are not necessarily a good influence that are also coming at them. So we didn't have either of those 2 factors, and yet many of us could not stay out of jail. So it was I want to thank the Reentry Coalition here for helping with it, and all the volunteers. It was definitely a time of lesson learning, and I do encourage the members in this room to speak to their staff if they themselves did not attend, because I think it will help us move forward on a path where we can do the right thing to help reduce crime in our state if we do the right thing in this arena. Thank you.